kicking out all bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico, expose these clowns.
Attention! Boom, punch out! It's time for the Freddy Chico show to begin. Open up your ears and listen close. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling in strong, watch these clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them the best of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling in strong, watch these clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them the best of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show. I speak for the truth of my people, I will never quit. No fear in my heart, they keep talking while I'm living this. Kneel for the spirit of the fallen, calling Japanese. Them soldiers always raising up our Fifth Street analysts. They lost in the zone of a fatal state. True facts in the story only carry weight. Keep the grind on your mind each and every day. But don't copy off of mine, eat what's on your plate. Respect to Huey P. and Bobby Seale. Malcolm X and the King, cause the dream is real. What I said, and I mean it all. If you're looking for the real Freddy Chico show, I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling in strong, watch these clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them the best of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling in strong, watch these clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them the best of my wordplay. Freddy Chico show.
Welcome to the Freddy Chico Show, where the truth is revealed and never concealed. We are going to get the timer going. Rep your city, 3 minutes on the clock. Let me know where you're checking in from. And there it goes. Appreciate y'all on Instagram and YouTube. We are live. We got a spiritual topic for y'all tonight. Got one in Facebook. Let me know who you are. Say hello. Do me a favor, hit that like and share. Subscribe on on YouTube. Don't cost you a thing, but it supports the channel. Appreciate y'all. On Instagram, like and invite. Chino is in the building. Chino headquarters. Okay. Appreciate you, Minister, in the building. Definitely gonna ask you to give your input on tonight's topic. He said, "Do you think it's gonna make the false Facebook preachers mad?" Yeah, it's a sad day. You know, they will expose themselves. Um, you said, "What city is in my background?" That's Atlanta. I gotta look at it again. You see the that gold dome. Um, there's Atlanta's background. So what is it called? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. Oh, I could be wrong. It looks like it, but it might be something else. So I think I just got it from the city thing. I think that's Atlanta. I forgot where I got that. The it's from the Wirecast program. I believe that's Atlanta. Yeah, that's Atlanta, Georgia State, the Georgia State something. I think it has it here. Georgia State Capitol Building of downtown Atlanta. So that means you got to come through see this in Atlanta in person. But do me a favor, hit that invite. We're gonna get started. Like the time is up. Yep, time is up. Time to get into the topic. Topic tonight is, what do you do after your breakthrough? What do you do after your breakthrough? First thing, we got to identify what is a breakthrough. What are we talking about when we say breakthrough? Now, it's not just one thing, you know, but ultimately, in layman's terms, is that get it moment where you're like, aha, this is what I have been missing. This is what has eluded me. This is what I can now see clearly that was foggy or blurry before. Um, like getting some new information. What do you do after you get that new information? What do you do once you have that new information? Or did you actually get a breakthrough? Because then there are people that pretend to get information. Team 1K in the building and need you tonight. We're going to be talking about what do you do after you get a breakthrough? What do you do after you get a breakthrough? Make sure my mics are good. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe, and invite some people, because you know we have people who and this is Spiritual Monday, so I'm gonna focus on my Christian brothers that will have a breakthrough, whether it's to realize who Jesus is and um, realize their calling, realize their um, their spiritual gifts. But once you find out, what do you do? What do you do with that information? Or are you faking the funk and you never even got a breakthrough and you just like the attention to get because people think you got a breakthrough? How you say you go back to the same BS, same old BS. You answered my question. Gotcha. Um, you said continue to analyze, and maintain healthy practices. Okay. What's going on, Amshad? Appreciate you in the building. You know, do me a favor, hit that like and share. Invite somebody. Self analyze. Got you. Continue to self analyze. I'm with you on that. You know, because it's not an instant you know everything. It's a process. Because once you have the information, there is the process of applying it. And it ain't so easy, especially applying it for the first time. You know, because you're going to come against all kind of obstacles. People, situations, areas are going to come against what they see as the opposite of what they want to do. Breakthroughs require maintenance. Gotcha. Breakthrough is a baby step. You can get caught up praising one good thing because you lose track of the overall goal. Got you. And when someone, like I said, a breakthrough is just what you said. It's a baby step. But if someone is only doing this baby step because that's the popular thing, is that a genuine breakthrough? Or is it, pomp and circumstance? Because the ones that have those same breakthroughs every Sunday, like they're always getting a breakthrough, but they're never putting that breakthrough to work. You can't be the 30th time you done got a breakthrough of bad relationships and here you are again with another one. Did you really get a breakthrough? Or you just like the attention everybody's giving you because they feel sympathy for you being in that bad relationship? Because just like, for example, giving your life to Christ, that's not the ending step. The next step is to have someone have that conversation with you on a teacher, having some mentor who has walked the path before you to say, hey, this is what your next steps need to be. These are the reading and what have you. Just, people have different paths or people have different ways of teaching. But, so I'm not trying to say it's exactly this way it has to be done with everybody. But just as an example, they don't just say, okay, I give my life to Christ and that's it. There's no reading required. There's no application of said reading. There's no mission. Like, that's just the beginning of a journey. That's a start. Let me say, I just got a breakthrough. Who is telling me the right stuff, Chico or Derek Jackson? Who is telling you the right stuff, Chico or Derek Jackson? You know the answer to that one. You know the answer to that one. For all the Derek Jackson fans out there, just saying. Because literally, I've had people that still like, even though he got caught, they're still saying he spoke some good things. Like, you can't save everybody. Even when he get exposed, they still like, no, we still love him for his con artist games. And we can't wait to get conned by him too. And one thing I heard today, shout out to my man Milton Watkins of Clutch Watkins Fitness, CW3. You know, he said a powerful statement today, and I agree with it 100%. You can't give medicine to sick people who enjoy being sick. They're not going to be well. They're always going to be sick. They enjoy the attention of being sick. You can't help that person. They enjoy the attention they're getting from being the victim that they created on themselves. You say, I fall out in church for the 100th time over the same breakthrough that I will repeat again. Yeah, that. Let me put that into question. How do y'all feel about the person who falls out every Sunday about the same thing, you know, just broken record breakthroughs? Like, what do you call it? Yeah, broken record breakthrough. You know, when it skips, like, here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. You know, what are your thoughts on that? He said, breakthrough wisdom will not always come from the people gassing you. Absolutely, because most of the time the people that are gassing you aren't, I would say 90% of the time, people that are gassing you aren't telling you anything new. There's 10% that, you know, you can get in a good Bible study session and you're just going off of somebody else's vibe and they're going off of your vibe, and you're feeding off each other. You're going back and forth, you know, and you are growing, you know. You're getting revelation and you're sharing your revelation. They're getting revelation and they're sharing their revelation with you, and you're building off of that. That I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the people gassing you up, saying you cannot say anything wrong. They're not telling you anything new. They're just co-signing and yes-manning you for whatever you say. The majority of breakthroughwism will not come from that form. Because even like I said, me and this guy, 90% of what he said, I agree with. But there's a 10% like, I'm not with you on that. But yeah, I can still learn some things from him, in which I did. I was like, yeah, that is an awesome, that's a powerful statement. Can't deny that, you know. And some other things that he said I agree with. I was like, yeah, there's no denying that. You know, and we'll never take that away from him. You know, sometimes people don't like one thing and they don't want to hear nothing else a person has to say, just because they said one thing they don't like. Like, no, I just don't like that one thing, but the rest of the stuff, I'm on the same page with you. Same page. You know, so not all information is facts. I love when people are like, facts. No, you just said facts. It don't mean it's really facts. Just because someone presents new information doesn't always mean it's facts for a breakthrough. Yep, that's true too. You know, why don't more preachers teach this topic? Why just let people proceed sick? It's profitable. Let's just be honest about it. It's profitable. You know, this is what I was told by a mega preacher years ago, when I am hungry for meat and, you know, getting tired of the milk. His response to that is like, that's what small groups is for. When you come to a large church like this, all you're going to receive is milk, because he is more concerned with the new people. So he's got to repeat and regurgitate milk-like topics, because meat will go over the newbies' heads. So, which I guess for some people to each his own. Why am I wasting my time with milk? Because this scripture that talks about it, back me up. The scriptures talk about Paul being frustrated, saying, y'all are still feeding on milk when y'all should have been on meat at this point. What is going on? Why y'all still behaving like babes in Christ when y'all should be veterans? You know? He said, can children have spiritual breakthroughs? In my opinion. Yes, they can. But do they? No. Most do not. Most are just going through the motions. Most adults are going through emotions, but most of the children are going through the motions that someone taught them. Like you can see them mimicking their parents, mimicking their family members, and they're like, oh, they got a spirit. No, they can copy pretty good. They're good actors. They have no idea what they're doing. But it sounds good. But I don't think, I think First and Second Timothy doesn't put a limitation on age. I would say, nothing younger than 6. Like the guy that I think he was like a 4-year-old preacher or whatever, or something like that. His brain is not well formed to be getting to that point. Like that's a lot of show, I think he's just repeating and mimicking his parents. That's my opinion. There he is, Pastor Chris in the building. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Please do me a favor, hit that like and share. And I appreciate you. Another clergy in the building. What we're talking about, what do you do after your breakthrough? When you find Christ, what do you do? When you get that get it moment, aha, this is what they were talking about. What do you do? When you're like, hey, I've been in this fog, but now my eyes have been open to this. What do you do? Yes, people do push kids to do that, and it's sad because then naturally they want to rebel because they're being forced to do something that they're not fully understanding and will go the opposite way out of rebellion. Not because they're naturally evil or anything like that, but they're not equipped and not ready for it. Yeah, and that's crazy. I don't believe in that forced baptisms. Um, you keep chasing righteousness. And I'm going to piggyback off that. I appreciate that, Chris. You keep chasing righteousness, but you have to know what righteousness is and be able to be mentored by someone who's already walking that path. Because a lot of times people are like, yes, I want to chase righteousness, but where are the examples of it? Where can I go, okay, hey, this is my weakness. I need somebody who this is their strength. Versus finding another person who that's their weakness, and both of y'all are in trouble. The blind leading the blind. Okay, that is a great example from reading scripture, but I'm talking about in the physical, who will, you know what I mean? You're like Jesus is our example. The Word of God is our example. I agree 100%. No argument from me. Should parents wait until their kids find themselves to get baptized? No, I do not believe that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do believe. Wait until they find themselves. Do not force them to be baptized. That is actually the opposite of what a baptism is. The concept of it. The baptism is an outward showing of what is in your heart. And if you're forcing someone to do something, that's not what's in their heart. That's just an outward fake show for the parents. That's what I'm talking about right there. You say you do believe you should have an accountability partner. Wise counselors should be around you. That's right there. Because a lot of times we get all caught up in the pomp and circumstance of, oh, this person gave their life to Christ. Cheer, cheer, congratulations. We're praying for you. Awesome. We celebrate you, this, that, and other. And then, all right, have a good day. They still got to go to their house. They still got to go to their neighborhood. How do they, one of the first things I, pursued in Foundations of Christianity was I wanted to get the knowledge. I want to get the knowledge. I want to get the base. Because when I get confronted by Jehovah's Witnesses, when I get confronted by Mormons, when I get confronted by Muslim, I want to be able to say I am just as well versed as they are. Because they come well versed. And for the longest, I was not versed. And so I'm like, I really can't challenge what you're saying. I can't really come back and say, hey, this is what I believe. Because I didn't really know. And so I took that class twice. Shout out to Pastor Ken. He taught it both times. And I always get new revelation from that brother. Good dude. He said, but the person who had the breakthrough need to search for what they need. That's true too. That is true too. Because we did talk about that offline. There's some people that think, that's the finish line. They don't have to do anything else. That there's not something that's going to still be required of them. And maybe even that's how sometimes people sell it, so that when they come, they're like, oh yes, I'm just going to say I had this breakthrough, but you really didn't. And so then you have no idea there's more to it, to just saying, yes, I believe and want to give my life to Christ. There's the walking part. That's, hey, now the work begins. Good job, but let's go. He said, but the person, okay, I get that. I don't believe in last Christians. Lost Christians or last Christians? You have to work out your own righteousness. You have to study to show thyself approved. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to piggyback off of that one as well. Because we do have too many should-be vets in the game that barely ever study for themselves. So they can fall victim to false teachers. Because they don't know what's in it themselves. So I agree with that 100%. You got to know for it. Like me and you, we've debated hours, weeks, months, But me and you both have a base of knowledge. We have different perspectives. We have different marinades. True indeed. But you have a base of knowledge that you can refer to, use as reference, as I do. But if I was someone that was like, I know 2 scriptures, or I know, a couple words here and there, I'm not even equipped to have a conversation with you. You know what I mean? He said, because too many fake Christians, as pastors can't let people trick you. He said, Christians, ABS, anti-lock brakes system. Appreciate that, Walter. He said, you feel like pastors are responsible for maintaining spiritual breakthroughs for newcomers in Christ in the church. Responsible? You said for maintaining. Like, overseeing or keeping an eye out, accountability to say, hey, how are we taking care of these newcomers? Yes, I do feel that. I feel if not only the responsibility of the pastor, but his leadership under him. And because I'm like AVS, I'm not following that. It said because there's too many fake Christians and pastors, can't let people trick you. Absolutely, absolutely. If you don't know what's in the Word, they can tell you anything. Like, and I'm not picking on you when I say this, Amshay, but the people that believe that the scripture that says no man, man that don't work, don't eat, don't realize it doesn't say man don't work, don't eat. It says anyone that doesn't work should not eat. So if you don't know it for yourself, you're going around repeating a lie. The half truth is a whole lie. Or the one that I had to, get schooled on or school myself on was I don't know y'all background. Chris, I'm pretty sure you've heard a preacher, Walter, I'm pretty sure you heard a preacher say this. Where they speak about the eagle and their offspring and how the process of an eagle becoming an adult eagle is that the mother eagle takes the baby eagle and flies high into the sky and then drops the baby eagle to allow the eagle to fly. And the reason behind the story is to say, hey, this is what we need to do for our children, is to get them out the nest, we got to throw them out there and hope that they fly. And that supposedly, this mother eagle, if she sees the baby does not have the ability or does not end up flying, that she swoops in the last second and grabs the baby and does it again, or waits for another time to try it again. That's the biggest lie I ever heard, and I've heard it I haven't heard it recently. It's been a while, but preachers used to say that all the time. You probably could YouTube and find somebody saying that lie on the pulpit. You know what I mean? He said we aren't animals. Absolutely not. He said I agree with him to a point, but unfortunately people fall through the cracks. That's why I say it's also the Christian's job. Yep, who just had the breakthrough to seek more and ask questions. Absolutely. Absolutely. There is a responsibility on the person. But you don't know what you don't know. If you don't know this is a step and all you know is that, hey, people say, give your life to Christ, and then that's it, you can fall victim to the lie, and think they don't. Because I did a research, and don't take my word for it, look it up yourself. A bald eagle baby is the size of the mother before they're able to fly. The only thing different between a bald eagle baby and the adult is the bald eagles, the babies, don't have the white head. They're all black. And how they learn how to fly is they are low. Their nest is way up in the mountain somewhere. When they get ready to fly, they're somehow relocated to a low branch on a tree. And these babies are huge. Their wingspans are no different than the adults. And they're learning how to fly. They're flapping their wings on this branch. The branch is dang near touching the ground. How big they are, because they're making this branch, bend so much. There's no way this mother is picking this big baby up and flying high and dropping him. That's some stuff that people who don't read or don't do the research, even myself at the time, was like, oh, that's that tough love. Parents are supposed to do that. And it's a lie. A big lie. But if you don't do your own studying, like Chris said, you'll fall for that crap. He said most never grab their babies. Like, the babies are just as big as him. What are they going to do? Not true. Not true at all. But we repeat these things. Yeah, old wives' tales, And I'm like, wow. It just makes me angry because I'm looking people dead in the eye and they're like, yep, this is the truth. And they know they're lying. They don't have to answer for that. You know, once you know, what do you do then? Do you continue to lie because people, you know, their feelings may be hurt if you expose the fact that they've been telling this lie for years? Or do you stand for truth? And that's difficult for some to do. So, in a new marriage, how patient should you be with your partner in a breakthrough, especially if it's something dealing with an addiction? Great question. Great question. Let me read it again. So, in a new marriage, how patient should you be with your partner in a breakthrough, especially if it's something dealing with an addiction? Well, I think we've jumped the horse a little bit on new marriage and addiction. To me, that should have been caught unless it started after the marriage and then they had to deal with it. That might be one scenario. But if it's something where you knew about the addiction beforehand, that person would need to categorize it. Either it's a minor or it's a major. A minor meaning you don't like it, but you can live with it no matter if they never change or get help and fix it. A major is they need to fix it before you go any further. Okay, so you said, what if they hit it? That sucks. It depends on what the addiction is, and how harmful it would be. You know, because people have addictions to things that don't affect, you know, relationship as much as others. You know, like a cocaine addiction, I think is a little harsher than a donut addiction. I'm just saying. So I think it would definitely depend on, because I mean, it's very difficult to speak on how long somebody should take to overcome an addiction, because everybody can say it's so easy looking from the outside, but if you are the one that know you have an addiction to something, because everybody has addiction to something, and know it's difficult for you, you really can't speak on somebody else's inability to break an addiction, other than praying for it and having God, you know, give you the strength and endurance to resist that addiction, or clean your heart from that. Gambling or drugs. Okay, so gambling can be very detrimental to a marriage. Talking about rent not being paid, utilities, things like that. If it's something that's like well hidden, I think it's something that will have to be addressed in a situation of there is a end goal. So between them particular people, they would have to say, okay, hey, look, by this day, we got to have some, because this was not known, and despite due diligence of, you know, knowing a person before you marry him, that slipped through the cracks, and yeah, you would have to. That's not something where it's like, you know, I signed up, man, and I'm just gonna put up with you gambling for years. No. We got to get this fixed in a hurry. But that's me. That's me personally. I'm not one to be like, okay, take your time, fix it whenever. No. You got to fix it soon, soon. Whatever we need, whatever I can do on my end to help facilitate that. Yeah, but we got to fix that. Nope, nope. For better or worse does not mean you just accept any abuse. Now it means you do your best to work it out, work with it, but yeah, nah, you don't just all right, I'm married to a gambling addict, and you know we might be homeless, but I still love that person. So you know you gotta, let's say, meet halfway on that. You know, it's not some you just dog. Better or worse doesn't mean you take abuse. Because the same people be like, okay, get physically beat. Hey, for better or worse, that's not that. That's not the same. You and it doesn't talk about this, and most people try to talk around it. I don't. My two things that I believe are reasons, justifiable reasons for divorce: infidelity, physical violence. Don't agree with either one of them on either side. You know, you do those two things. Don't talk about, oh, but what about better for worse? That's worse than worse. That's worse than worse. Those two things, worse than worse. That's not worse. That's sign the papers. I'm out. No, like, let's talk about it. No. No counseling, none of that. No, no, no. That's why I think all these people that are like, oh yeah, she's doing it because she's so spiritual and taking Derek Jackson back and all that. Nah, she don't want to. She don't want to throw away a gravy train, or and just speculation. I don't know for a fact, but she that's dysfunctional. I don't agree with that. You know, well, it's not his fault because he's in the public eye. That's his fault because he is in the public eye. Because you're sitting there speaking harshly, I have to say karma, on all these guys that are doing their girls wrong, and you doing it wrong too. And I called that out from the beginning. I'm like, that's probably what he's doing. And most of these people that talk like that typically are the ones that are guilty of it. But they claim they're so offended or so appalled by the thought, and that's their expertise. You know what I mean? And he said, it seems though in most relationships in the church, when a partner has a breakthrough, it seems to end in divorce. That's different. You said when a partner has a breakthrough, it ends in divorce. What is the partner of having a breakthrough that causes divorce? You would think it would strengthen, like, hey, they're having a breakthrough because it was something that they've been struggling with. You would think that would help the marriage, not hurt it. Unequally yoked couples are always eager to give testimony. Have you ever noticed that? That's not good at all. If I'm hearing what you're saying correctly, it's like the people who are almost kind of like the Pharisee and the Republican. The Pharisee is trying to compare himself to the publican. That you got the people that are so holier than thou that they know they married a heathen, and so they want to let everybody know that they feel they're so much better than their spouse. That's some clown stuff. Um, and a lot of times, like Chris was saying, it's like, and I find this is just something that in my walk that I've noticed that is there are a lot of people who are teaching who have no business teaching because they never were taught themselves. Somebody just gave them the job and they're not equipped to teach somebody because no one ever taught them. Um, I go into places all the time where, or at least before the COVID-19, is like there's no men in this church. Physically, they're there, but um, conceptually or spiritually, they're not men. They're shells. Um, Derek Thomas, what's going on? You said you made it to half the show? Not really. It's like 12 minutes left. Thomas, I made it to the half of the show. Yeah, too many people got instant teaching platforms and have no clue what they're talking about. It's a divorce because the world doesn't teach to do the work to fix a problem that is discovered. Just throw it away. Yeah, and there's money in that too. Um, hold on. I didn't catch this one. Ooh, we got a bunch of them. Hold on. For example, a couple has been married for years, neither go to church. Wife starts going to church. All of a sudden, her husband isn't good enough. Yeah, because he listens to some. Typically, the pastor, conning her into something that he's out of pocket for. He's out of pocket for saying. Um, Church members are telling her to divorce her husband because he won't come to church, which is another out of pocket thing. It's none of their business, because um, uh, just to let people know, all churches are not friendly to men. So just because he don't want to go to church, don't mean he don't got his spirituality in him. There's no church that is actually not hostile towards him. You know, um, women can say all day long, "Oh man, I'm just so spiritual." Yeah, because nobody's attacking you every Sunday. They're attacking him. You know what I mean? And so, yes, she's had a spiritual breakthrough at the expense of her marriage. That's a contradiction in terms. There is no way, or there's unless it's specific case of the guy just like, I'm not having it. I'm not for it. The spiritual breakthrough should not be the reason for a divorce. It's the other side not being okay with it. You know what I mean? Just like someone saying, hey, that's not for me, but I'm not going to knock you for doing it. You know what I mean? Because there is scripture that says, that talks about the unequally yoked, and that one partner can be sufficient for the other. Now I'm speaking. I'd have to do more research on, do more studying on that, but it does speak on the one person being a standing the gap and a covering for the other person for a time, at least for a time, so that they can have the opportunity to um, catch up. You know, he said those kind of really tricky for me. Yeah, because I mean, put it this way: there's a lot of people that can be experts in somebody else's relationship, knowing their relationship is so dysfunctional. And like what old boy was saying today, talking about some people need to sweep their own front porch before they talk about somebody else's, mess. There's a lot of people that are like that. Um, but I appreciate you in here, Derek. Hit that like and share, all that good stuff. We're talking about what do you do after your breakthrough? What do we do after your breakthrough? See, most can't see their mess until seeing someone else's. Most can't see it because they think they're on this pedestal and they can do no wrong. Because I mean, I go through that. I think everybody goes through that where it's like, wow, that's dysfunctional, and then look like, oh shoot, am I doing that? I need to fix myself. Let me not even open my mouth talking about nobody else when I know. It don't have to be specifically that same thing, but conceptually something else that you're guilty of. When you say, how can they do that to God? And like, dang, wait a minute, am I doing this to God? I need to watch it. I need to fix that. Because nobody's perfect. All the fallen have come short. Um, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the share, Derek. Appreciate the share. Um, the older I get, I realize this about some people. They got to have a mental starting point to live their lives, and using other people is how they do it. Living through people, or um, that's dysfunctional as all get out. Many praise the pastor and not God. That happens too much. And yes, sometimes and I gotta say it's not hard to do because sometimes people um, look at the response that a pastor may get and they envy that, you know, versus understanding he is a vessel and that they should be giving God the praise for the vessel that's in front of them. Um, but I don't want to talk over anyone's head by saying that. Um, Is this part reason why society and church is sick? No breakthrough direction. Yeah. Because people will sit there and say, the church is for the sick. Yeah, but if people just enjoy being sick, why are we there? People don't just walk around the hospital. They're actually receiving medication so they can get better and leave. Not sit there and be sick for years. You know what I mean? So it's a bad analogy. People use it really bad. It's a pandemic, especially with the new woke community that we have. Most of our young people are being misled to what a breakthrough really is. Right, and it's not hard to fool these youngsters because they are not smart at all. They know certain things. They can run circles around me as far as the cell phones and smartphones and TikTok and all that good stuff. But some common sense, not much. And so you could tell them anything, and they'll run with it like, whoa, bro. Calling girls bro. Girls calling other girls bro. Not too bright. You said secular entities teach wrong breakthrough as well. Yep. They feel that believers in God are still suffering from the slave mentality because of the history of the African Americans, and they will use this because they're half right. They're half right on that. Because there's a lot of Christians that are living by that slave mentality. A lot of them. And the reason why a lot of them are living in that slave mentality is they can't even read the book that's right in front of them that's showing them they should not be doing that. They got the book right in front of them, but they refuse to read it. So they're being led by this guy who's manipulating them to do what he wants them to do, and they are clueless to the foolishness. So they're not half wrong when it comes to certain people, but they're not all the way right when it comes to... It's like having a concept. Basic concept. If I work, I get paid, I can pay the bills. They're going to say, nope, you should just get paid for nothing, and that should pay your bills. Now, you got to actually do something. Now, how you do it, there's a whole variety of different ways you can do that. But the basic core is you need some foundation of mentality thinking to thrive. But, so it's no different than what they're saying, but they're making it like, well, this is the only way you can do it. And if you do it this other way, you're being a sheep. You're being a slave. When if you look deep at all these so-called woke people, they're just a slave too. It's just a different slavery. But they don't want you to focus on that because they have these easy to spot people that are supposed to represent everybody. Because you got these clowns on late night TV talking about selling holy water and these napkins and other things that are supposed to bring you blessings or whatever, that's supposed to speak for all Christians. And I'm like, some of those people you can't really talk to because that's all they're going to Yeah, I don't like it either, Derek. You said I can't stand the slang by these young people like bro and my ninja and women with the period and the T at the end of that. Yeah, I can't stand that crap either. I'm right there with you. And I can't stand my guy. What's going on, my guy? Like if you don't Yeah, I'm sounding like my dad. I'm my dad. Yeah, I'm like, and speaking to that end, it's like if I sounded like how these kids sound to me, I gotta call my dad and apologize again. I'm sorry. I am sorry if I ever sounded like how these kids sound today. That's just painful. It's just painful to listen to them talk. Um, uh, do you feel some breakthroughs shouldn't be shared? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there's people around you. Perfect example. If a woman has a breakthrough of dealing with bad relationships. Hey, I'm not going that no more. I've learned my lesson. You don't need to share that with everybody. Because chances are there's a lot of those same snakes and wolves listening to your breakthrough and be like, watch, I could get it too. Watch, and I'm going to prey on that person to catch them slipping when because breakthrough don't mean you're bulletproof. Because more than likely, you're going to get tested to see if that breakthrough is actually solid. And how many people backtrack because they think they got it licked and they don't. You know what I mean? Not taking credit from God, but some things should be private. Absolutely. I think that's right where I went with that. Some things do not need to be shared except for people who have the covering to not, expose you, like a spouse who got you covered. He said everyone says something true. Even Candace Owens says about 10%, 20% true, but then it goes off to total BS. Absolutely. She tries to act like, she's just wanting to hold lazy black people accountable. And they're like, hey, you got to earn what you want. You shouldn't just get handouts. But that does not apply to all blacks. And the systemic racism that still exists has nothing to do with blacks being lazy. Like, we used to work for free, clown. Like, what are you talking about? But you agree? I appreciate that. Shout out to Slightly Annoyed Mixsick. She purchased a shirt online. Appreciate you. Waiting on Amshay. Walter's been doing it. Y'all supposed to be doing that thing, right? I hope the challenge is still on. You still remember. It's 9 o'clock. Got to get going. He said, my issue is kids are calling their parents bro. They would be sleepy. They will be sleepy. I might get in trouble for saying that, but they'll be sleepy. I wish they would call me bro. I wish they would. I know my daughter probably, do it trying to be funny, but I ain't your bro. I ain't your bro. I'm not sure how to read that one. Oh, okay. Whew. You're not going to believe what I thought you just said. I'm going to need you to get some punctuation, girl. Because, woo, I thought you meant something else. Woo! But she's saying, my girl, comma, let me get mine. All right. Total different sentence. Totally different sentence. We need to work on this topic. Yes, absolutely. Y'all get busy with that. No, I'm not giving Amshay no Chico Boy shorts. Not happening. Um, some testimonies in church be like, yeah, they just want attention. Nah, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it on it. But you know, or I'm not gonna get in detail. What I thought is what you said. It sounded like you was a part of that lifestyle, and you said your girl got you a shirt, like you have a girl. I'm just saying. I ain't know. I ain't know. Um, I forgot what your nickname was. You call me Ike Turner. What is your nickname? What did I call you? Cardi B or somebody? Mm-mm. I call you Shakari Richardson. Woo, Nelly! You're gonna be Shakari Richardson. I'm not done. I'm not done. Yeah, that was Walter in there. But y'all get the cracking on that. Just checking. You know, remember what I say. You don't have to think like me, but you do have to think. You're never too old to learn. You're never too young to teach. We'll have another topic. Have an awesome topic. I will post it tomorrow about Wednesday's show. Um, y'all don't want to miss it. Let your peoples know this is what we're doing. But I love y'all. Nothing y'all can do about it. I'll see y'all on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chico out.